Story time, it's my favorite time, spending time reading with you. Welcome to another story time with Gam Gam. Let's see what we have for today. Welcome back to Story Time with Gam Gam. We have another Tales of Virtue story today from the Beginner's Bible, a book of rights and wrong. And these stories were written by Carolyn Neighbors Barker and illustrated by Kelly Pulley and Lisa Reed. Our story today is honesty. What does honesty really mean? Honesty means to tell the truth to ourselves and to others. God tells the truth. He is honest. He wants you to tell the truth too. And our story today is about Daniel. He's a man who lived a long time ago. He was from the land of Israel, and he was taken into captivity in the land of Babylon, Persia. So if you wanted to read this story with either yourself or with your parents, you could find this story in the Old Testament of the Bible in the book of Daniel. Daniel lived a long time ago in the land of Babylon. He was very handsome, and he was very smart. He was also very healthy. So the king said, I want Daniel to work in the palace. Daniel went to live in the king's palace. The king wanted Daniel to eat the food, but the food was not healthy. It was too rich. It was not good for Daniel to eat the king's food. Daniel said, I cannot eat the king's food. It will make me feel bad. I want to eat what is healthy for me. It was hard, but Daniel was honest. He was even honest with the king. Sometimes making the right choice is a hard choice, but he did the right thing. And if you read about Daniel from in the Bible, you'll read about his other friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who also decided not to eat the food from the king's table, but to eat fruits and vegetables instead, just like Daniel. And they ended up being healthier and stronger than those that chose to eat the food from the king's table. It's a very good story. You should read about it sometime. Later, the king had a dream. He called his wise men, and he said to the wise men, Tell me what my dream means. And they said to the king, We cannot do what you ask. This made the king very angry, and he wanted to hurt all the wise men in the kingdom. The king said, If you cannot tell me what my dream means, then you are not wise men. Now Daniel had also heard about what the king said. He prayed in the night that God would tell him the king's dream and what it meant. And you know what? God did. Then the king asked Daniel, Can you explain my dream? Daniel could have said, I'm very wise, and I know what your dream means, but that's not what he did. He said, God has explained your dream to me. Daniel was honest. He told the king the truth. The king was happy. Some of the wise men in the kingdom were jealous of Daniel because he was so honest. And I think he was well liked by the king also. That probably didn't help. They couldn't find anything wrong with Daniel or what he did. Daniel had never broken the law. So they thought up a plan to trap Daniel. They said to the king, Make a law that people can only pray to you. If anyone breaks the new law, throw him into the lion's den. Now Daniel heard about this evil plan, but he did not stop praying to God. Do you think that's what their plan was? I think that's what their plan was all along. So every day Daniel went to his room to pray to God. He would pray 3 times a day to God. Daniel was honest and true to God. The jealous men saw Daniel praying in his room. They said, Daniel has broken the king's new law. Now we can have him thrown into the lion's den. The king was very sad and troubled that Daniel had broken his law. He liked Daniel, but he could not change the law. What would the king do? What were his choices? The king said, I hope that your God will keep you safe. And God did. God sent an angel to close the lion's mouth and to watch over Daniel. Daniel was saved. The king was happy. Daniel was glad that he had prayed to God. Daniel was glad that he had been honest, not just to the king, but to himself. Daniel wanted to be honest because he loved God. When you are honest, this makes God happy. God took care of Daniel. God will take care of you. Thank you for joining me for the story today about honesty. You have a great day, and may God continue to take care of you. I love you. Good night.